What's good, people? My name is Boya and I'm a London-based filmmaker. And when I think about my home country of Nigeria, house music isn't something that immediately springs to mind. But on a recent trip back to Lagos, I was introduced to a burgeoning house music scene. So I decided to sit down with some of the main players who have grown the scene and continue to ascend it to new heights.
Element House was basically a gig we built, me and Ronnie together. And met, said, hey, good, you be the promoter, I'll be the DJ, and then we kicked off like that. So we just built step by step from that little small base. But then the thing about Ronnie is, Ronnie as a promoter as well, at that time, he was already like kind of famous as well. So he knew a lot of people. So it was kind of a good meeting of two people who had something great to offer each other, and it just kind of built from there, yeah. The thing is, I'd actually been into house before I came back to Nigeria. And I just felt like there's so many people here, I can't be the only one who likes house music, right? But if I come here, I could be the one who tries to be among the first people to kick off here, which I felt was a big opportunity. Element House was not the first house music gig to happen in Lagos. The first house music gig was done by guys called, they're from Lagos Underground, right? So, but we took the business of house music full time. So I think whereas most other people were kind of doing it as a side gigs, but I think maybe we were the first to probably get to this level. It's really growing because beyond Element House, there's other gigs now. At the start, it used to be just, literally just us, you know? So there was like literally one party a month. You get what I mean? But now there's literally a party every week. There's multiple promoters, everybody's inspired, and there's a lot of space for everybody to have fun with the scene.
I was kind of, I was at a crossroad in terms of what I wanted to do with like my future. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I knew that I enjoyed being a lawyer, but I knew that it wasn't what I was going to do for a very long time. And I wanted to find out like what I enjoyed doing, like what it is that I wanted to do. And I felt like space was the way to do that. So I worked with 3 other partners to found H Factor. And at the time, our values were authenticity, like being true, being yourself, and creativity as a lifestyle. Because a lot of people were creatives as a sort of like thing on the side. Like no one would really identify with being a creative or an artist, you know, unless you were like a big artist. Space, and the thing is about that is like it's very staple. Like everyone knows the 4. The blue bars. You know, I'd been going to a lot of house parties for a while. I'd been going to like Lagos Underground, Element House, and at the time with H Factor we had a space and we were like, okay. We were done sort of throwing parties because, you know, they were quite expensive to throw and it took a lot out of us to throw them. So we wanted to host parties instead. And we felt like if we hosted parties, then we were actually inviting more communities into the space. And so I think the first house party that I would say that we hosted was Sweat It Out.
In nightlife, my name is DJ Toppsy, Dr. Love. Essentially, normally it'd be in the office, finance guy. Yeah. I'm a research analyst normally. But why do I do Sweat Out? Why do we start Sweat Out? Okay, so when I came back to Nigeria in 2015 from uni, I've always loved electronic music. Like, it's kind of what I've listened to since like 2010, like almost exclusively. I actually listen to every other thing, house, rock, rock, Afrobeat, but my main mood is electronic, all sorts of electronic as well. But when we came back to Nige, we actually didn't like clubbing culture because of, first of all, think about it, I'm like 23, yeah? And then I come back, and dude, we have to spend like 50, 40K every time just to even buy a drink. Let's not even talk about the pre's. Let's not talk about like the other shit that we have to get as we're going out. Let's talk about the people that have to buy fuel in their car, the guys that are getting babes Ubers, whatever. Like, one night is looking like 90K. In 2015, 90K is, now 90K is even still deep for a night. Like, it's not deep, but you get what I mean. So imagine 2015. So we're like, you know what? I came back home one day, and then I actually like was so frustrated or whatever with the night that I actually like legit got my laptop. I started writing a business plan. I swear to God, I still have the original one, I swear. And we're like, you know what? Let's actually start a night wherever one day that like essentially represents our music, and we just went to vibe to our own vibe.
The house scene is perhaps like the safest space for young creative people, because it's really about like just liberation, dancing, and it's not a pretentious space. It really is about just dancing and letting go and being free. So I think when you have spaces that like, allow for that, then people are naturally drawn to that, especially people who feel misunderstood, misfits, people who don't feel like they belong, or people who are creatively inclined. Like, they're always going to like sort of gravitate to those spaces that allow you to be yourself wholly. So I think Element House, they were the sort of first to create those spaces, and then you had like Echo Electro. And I think what happened is that people have different ideas and different versions of what house should be. So what's happened is that you just have like these little smaller communities of like niche ideas of what house is for them.
Beats drop, hearts stop.
My name is Tigran Letov. Also go by the name Tigran Sound, which is my producer tag. I'm a producer, DJ, instrumentalist, event planner, pioneer, and aside of that, I'm into IT, because in the creative scene, we need to uphold our finances. So I'm into IT as well. I spent a while, like 8 years in Germany. After my studies, I worked there, and that's where I discovered electronic music for the first time. I first started producing, and I started getting into like open air festivals, started co-organizing, co-hosting, and then at some point I started DJing as well. And then at the end of 2018, I decided to come back to Nigeria, to Lagos. I wasn't born here, but around the age of 5 or so. So, I mean, practically I was, yeah. But I mean, officially not. But I do consider myself a Nigerian, if anything. Because, I go to Germany, I feel like a foreigner. I go to Russia, which is where I'm from by blood. I feel like a foreigner. And here as well, but here at least I can make it home, more. It came as a first idea just amongst friends to go to the beach, you know, and get some speakers, just play amongst friends. So we had like the first one. We didn't even have a name for it. We did make a flyer, but we just called, you know, underground party. We had like 15, 20 people. That was in 2019. And like around August 2019. And then slowly we made the second one, like 2 months after that, we got like 50 people, friends of friends, you know, and then the third one is when things really blew off. That was when there's like a microbrewery here, and usually they're based in Abuja, but they came in Lagos to like expand, and they had a construction site at the moment, which was going to be like, you know, their brewery factory or whatever, and that was like in the heart of the city. Usually we're like in remote areas and stuff, so this is what really brought us, you know, to the attention of people, because after that event, that one alone, we had like, you know, 400 people, from 50 to 400 quite quickly, and we were very surprised at the reception, you know, of the music in general, because it felt like a lot of people like were waiting for something new, and even though it wasn't necessarily like electronic music took up that spot.
Wasn't even like what it is now is way bigger than what we thought it to be. Like we never thought that Nigerians would fuck. Actually, I thought Nigerians would fuck with it. My friends actually didn't think Nigerians would fuck with it. Bro, coming here to play that, bro, I remember when we used to play it, man, people would be like, it's white people music. I swear, like, I would be like, no, it's not white music, but even if it was white music, we don't care, but it's not white music anyway, but it doesn't matter. The first ever party was actually my birthday in 2019, because we knew that what we wanted to do, number one, first of all, it probably wasn't profitable at that point. Number two, no club was fucking with us. Like, nah, bro, don't come, bro. See, don't come and play that shit here. You get what I mean? We only use warehouses or studios. We've never used the club. I mean, you've been to raves. There's definitely like, and you've been to a lot of. You've been around now. You can enter a space and you're like, this space is for a rave. You get what I mean? Nigerian clubs, the way they are built, they're built for like the world is yours, like girls hanging from somewhere. Yeah, it's not built for like, you get what I mean? It's not built for, so most of the time studios unintentionally are built like that.
So we used to do parties here.
That's nice though. How did you get away with all the noise?
Because there was, I mean, our neighbors were our friends, like those guys.
What, downstairs here?
Yeah, that girl that came out, that's I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
This is our space. This is our space. That's actually a picture of me.
In the middle?
Yeah. Look, you can see there's an A-track there. There was no specific space for creativity. I mean, you had like galleries and you had like, you had galleries, but you never had a space that said, you know what, like come here and do whatever you want to do. Like you want to shoot a film, if you want to do a pop-up, if you want to, like the space was literally like, just give birth to your ideas in this space kind of thing. So I think that kind of like changed the game completely.
We got like, can I talk about weed here? Okay. So we got like 2 jars of weed, put it in the middle of the room. We got my partner and our Sons of Ubuntu. We got Del Noy and we got Icy. Those are the guys from Element House to play for us. back in the day, like for free, bro. Guys are like, what the fuck is going on, bro? The second Sweat It Out was on my them was our birthday the next year. But this is full-blown pandemic now. You know, this is like police will fuck you up. So when we're doing this party, by the way, there's a police station like 100 meters away. But no, you don't get like, because they'll think it's the street boys that are doing it. And they don't want that heat. Anyway, but the party was sick, like lights. I was just a fucking like sick party. And at that point, we're like, okay, yeah. We're feeling the vibe because now we've done two. We're like, you know what, this party shouldn't be private. It shouldn't be private anymore. Because now we're getting people from our friends' networks that didn't know about the parties.
Our progress has definitely been like so organic, and you know, our community now is just, yeah, it's wonderful how it's grown. You know, we started having bigger lineups, 10, 11, 12 DJs sometimes, because we run like a 24-hour program, like 5 p.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday to Sunday non-stop. We basically just kept doing a beach-based event, which is how it started, and staying true to the concept of how it started all along. We just give them the smell of the barbecue for them to know where to go, you know. Coming in as a pioneer, which I didn't give myself the name, you know, just over time you just realize that you are actually making history. It's a very heavy thing if put in the hands of like people with very, I don't know, wrong intentions and some people, whatever, you know. So we just let it flow into the community. This group of friends, like the four of us, you know, who started it together. I mean, at some point, you know, we all went our ways, but I wouldn't have been as brave to just, maybe it would have happened years later, you know, with, you know, the right resources, the right mindset, no procrastination, but that, like, braveness, is that a word? Like it came from being together, and the push that we're giving each other, like, let's do it now, you know, we want to party, let's do it now.
Yeah, I think it's just evolved beautifully over the years, and I think it's just going to keep evolving. You know, now there's like, there's so many different types, so there's so many different variations. You have like Afro tech, you have like deep house, you have like I was saying the other day, comp pop. There's like just so many different variations of house, and people are just going to constantly keep creating these communities that that serve their people. And I think that's the important thing. I think it's building these like smaller communities that people can identify with, and creating safe spaces for people to be themselves within those communities. So that's just going to keep happening.
Bro, just like the Nigeria you're seeing now, Nigeria in 2019, two different places, bro. Like 2019, we're like, no discrimination, it's an open space, be what you are, be who you are, come here, we have amazing lights. The same shit that we say now, you get what I mean? But just our friends at that point, because we're also very wary of the fact that we have some queer friends, and the situations that we don't want, then we're not sure if people will come to our space and assault our friends will be dicks. Now we know that it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? But 2019, it was Nigeria. People were a bit weird.
You know, when we first started our queer programs, we were very wary as well, because of course it's illegal in this country. And but the first thing we did was engage our community for like 2 years, and so we basically just sensitized them to the programmings we were going to have. Like, we would invite them into the space, we would support them as well, like have events for them. So by the time we were doing the queer programs, our community, our immediate community, were very receptive and very understanding, and so they felt safe in our space. So it was probably the first physical space where people could come and they didn't feel like, oh my God, there's going to be some kind of judgment or discrimination or fear of violence or anything like that. And, you know, house music was, you know, the kind of the bedrock of that, because H Factor was a safe space for queer people. So that's where the sort of marrying of like the queer community and house music came, because queer people felt safe at H Factor. So then they were introduced to house music. And what's beautiful about that is that when you build those communities, you know, when you house those communities for a period of time, you build those connections between people. So even if the space is shut down, those communities still exist. So even though, you know, Sweat It Out moved to another location, those communities are still there, and they go wherever they feel safe, or where they feel they can like be themselves, or they feel where the love is. And just seeing the social impact of the work that we've done over the years has just been really rewarding.
And I mean, you see this also globally. You see that the queer scene, or the LGBT community are always like strongly a huge part of the electronic music community. Even if it's not community-wise, at least music-wise, they always have something there, going on. And it's related to the freedom and everything as well. But what I would say is, like, I think actually before we started being very active in the open, they've been having some events over the past, let's say, 4 or 5 years, but before then I'm sure none. And we're friends with some of the organizers, and they do this Pride Ball. There's one that's called like that, or House of Curiosities, it's another name. You have multiple events, multiple organizers. They come to our events, we go to their events, and even me saying they is weird because I think that we are one.
So the name Sweat It Out actually means, people think it means like the place is hot. No, it means come and sweat out that bullshit that you deal with in Lagos. You get what I mean? So that's the concept, is to come and feel free. And if somebody said you're fat, somebody said you're a short boy, you're not a fine boy, you don't have money, someone said you're gay, no wala. Oh yeah, he's here that we'll meet. Dance. Your father doesn't have money, okay. Pay 7K, buy a ticket, dance. You get what I mean? Like, essentially, it does that. It's exactly that. It's just a place to be free, to sweat out all the bullshit that you deal with in Lagos. Essentially, and the people you meet there as well, open-minded. Oh, there's no that dickhead energy, man. I don't know if you get what I mean. There's like, bro, you know what Lagos is now. I want to park inside. Okay, the average guy I said that comes to it ends, I think they say, we did a survey, they say like 250 to 400K or 500K or something. So, bro, that's not that much, man. Like, you get what I mean? It's cool for a 25-year-old guy, but it's like, bro, like, it's no $1,000. Do you get what I mean? So the average guy, bro, just wants to chill. And like now, the spaces, he wants to go to a space where he's not being oppressed, can still get girls. It's still a vibe. Bro, there's no violence. Nobody's coming to oppress him. Just come there, listen to good music, wherever, with his friends, chill. Girls too want a safe space. Yeah, like where they can be masters of their own kingdom also. They don't have to be on the table or looking for one guy to take them out. They can do their own shit. You get what I mean? So generally, like, Lagos is changing in different parts of Lagos like that. Mental health. When you come to that alone, you have this notorious fact that you barely have any proper, therapy systems here or anything for people who actually need to even alone just maybe cool off some steam, and because cooling off steam not necessarily always means going into the club and buying with half of your salary of champagne and all that stuff, So I feel like electronic music and house music it's like a canvas, basically, and it's giving you the possibility to use it for anything that you need most, basically. That's why you have some people, they need to get lost, so they go there, they drink, whatever they do, and then they, get lost into it. Those are the ones who you see maybe with their eyes closed, and stuff like this. And then you have those who are there to quite, not the opposite, but to release, and then you see them, releasing physically everything, tension. That's all like therapeutical.
I had a passion for house music, then I met Del and we just kicked off from there. I play Afro melodic sort of house and deep house as well. Yeah, so within those range, Afro tech.
There are enough house music fans in Nigeria at the moment, or do you think it still needs to grow?
It definitely still needs to grow. I think over the years it has improved. The growth has been exponential over the years. It has definitely been exponential. The crowds that were there like 2 years now more. Usually it used to be like foreign people, but now we have like more like Nigerians coming through and locals coming through. I'm working on an album. Definitely working on an album, and I'm expecting at least the tracks to be sort of mainstream, but not mainstream, but outside Nigeria, like being across the country, Africa, Europe, and wherever I can go.
I fell in love with house the first time I interacted with house music, and incidentally it was Afro house, and that's always been my love. I play other genres of house, but my specialty is Afro house.
You don't play anything else?
No, I don't. There's no point. Mind blowing, man. Mind blowing. The community loves it. They love us. Sometimes it's overwhelming. You know, it gets really overwhelming. Like the pressure. When I say it's overwhelming, the love gets overwhelming. You see people come out and you're like, wow, all these guys came out because of what? Because we promised them an experience, and here they are. I'll just say, we're creating an environment, we're building something, we're making history. Yeah, we're not the only ones, but we're making history.
But the next thing is just push the music, push Nigerian artists, push the subculture, make it bigger, make it safer. People always say, oh, it's not Nigeria you did, because I mean, there's some elements of such that can be anti-establishment. But like, bro, we turned down some interviews for some certain people because we didn't feel that they were going to protect us in terms of the way we move. But like, bro, Nigerians love dancing. And my friend especially Nobi always says this shit. Like, bro, Nigerians are like we have rhythm. Like, we love dancing. You get what I mean? Bro, people party on Thursday to like there's one best constantly, man. Do you get what I mean? So Nigerians love a good party, man.
Our huge plans for the future, it involves bringing the world here and also taking us out there. It's a great thing, and I mean it's organic. It means that people have been wanting to hear a particular sound, a refreshing sound, a live sound, which comes back to the African rhythms, you know, and something that you can never get wrong, you know, has been the huge inspirations and inventions of music as a whole. The plan is just for us to get so big space-wise, amount-wise, financially-wise, that we're able to make it a thing where we'll have like even people from Europe getting visas and flying down here for that weekend, you know, to experience that. And I definitely also see a lot more sponsors seeing us. Hopefully, we're waiting for you. Yeah.
We've got some amazing sponsors who have really helped us to grow because the scene here, whilst it looks amazing and stuff like that, you know, financially, costs a lot of money to bring someone from abroad every month, flights, logistics. Everyone who DJs here, they help us out because they know we're trying to do something great out here. They know the scene here is not as big as it is in Europe and stuff like that. So yeah, so they give us concessions, they help us. They're pretty much our friends as well now. You get what I mean?
My journey is very personal in the sense that like I came back and I had no idea that I was going to be doing the work that I'm doing now. You know, the reason why I went into queer programming is because I was queer and I needed a safe space. I just knew that like I didn't want to spend all of my time and my energy and my resources in a country that wasn't mine. So for me, I came here and I was like, I'm ready for the journey, whatever that looks like, I'm ready for it. And that kind of passion and drive is kind of what's led me to where I am now.
This is gonna sound fucking corny, man. Sorry, excuse my language. It's just patriotism. Like I studied economics in university, and I know one of the things that killed the country, which is Nigeria, is beyond the government and all their issues. There's also a brain drain, right? Which is most of the smartest people leave the country. Do you get what I mean? So I kind of just wanted to do the opposite. Whatever you're trying to do, just make sure you have some discipline and then you're actually serious about it. Like, you get what I mean? So if you want to come here, I mean, it's tough anywhere in the world anyway. So it's not like you're gonna. Everywhere's got its pluses and its negatives. To be fair, I mean, Nigeria is tough, but then if you've got talent and you can survive there, you could probably survive here as well. So if it's something you're thinking of doing, not financial advice, by the way, or anything like that, but you can survive, you know.
And I think that's what it is. I think there's just a lot of talented Nigerians who now have like the platform to share what it is that they do. And they have more opportunities to share what it is that they do. So I think that's really what's happening. I think there's always been talented Nigerians and everything like that, but the internet has just made it more visible. you know, because our culture is very, very rich. And so with that will come like, you know, a lot of attention and a lot of people who want to kind of like be a part of that.
Definitely, like, bro, the music is gonna be on radio. It's gonna even enter some of mainstream. Now, everything that's happened everywhere else will happen here. Like all that stuff is coming, but the idea of the thing is that everybody should just try and grow it in their own way, in their own right, like, because that's what it is. It's too big. Like, it's 200 million people. You can't police anything. You get what I mean? But for us, it was coming up. We're gonna keep on pushing the artists, more shows, more sick parties, more sick locations, like, and people will be coming here. As long as you can fix Lagos tourism, there's nothing that is stopping people from coming to have a folk session here for a month because they can see culture, they have standard nightlife. So don't worry, the entertainment trend is not stopping. It can't even stop, like even with government regulation. Like you can't stop people that are creative, they're playing. Do you get what I mean? Because if not, they'll enter parallel off market. And then now you can't tax them.